Grief leaves behind a silence, an ache, and a longing to feel whole again. In that emotional emptiness, many people turn to substances or behaviors that offer relief, however temporary it may be. Addiction in this context often begins not as rebellion or recklessness, but as a desperate attempt to feel normal again. For someone grappling with grief, the emotional weight can feel unbearable. Substances like alcohol, prescription pills, marijuana, or harder drugs may initially seem to soften the pain. Even behaviors like gambling, binge eating, or compulsive screen use can temporarily distract the mind from sorrow. The pursuit of escape offers a momentary sense of calm, relief from racing thoughts or nightmares, a numbing of the sadness and yearning, a sense of control in a life that feels shattered. It's important to understand, addiction often begins with a search for comfort. The grieving individual isn't always chasing a high, they're trying to dull a low. But that relief is fleeting, and what begins as a coping mechanism can quickly become a dependency. Addiction is not just a matter of poor choices or lack of willpower. It's a complex interplay between biology, psychology, and environment, especially when grief is involved. Here is the biological component. Substances like opioids, alcohol, or stimulants flood the brain with dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. Over time, the brain's natural dopamine production weakens, and tolerance develops, requiring more of the substance to feel the same effect. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and impulse control, becomes impaired. Withdrawal symptoms can create dependency, even when emotional pain is what started the habit. Here is the psychological component. Grieving individuals often suffer from depression, anxiety, PTSD, or unresolved trauma, all of which increase the risk of substance use. Emotional triggers such as anniversaries or reminders of the loss can provoke intense cravings for relief. Addiction provides a perceived sense of control or escape, which can feel stabilizing in an otherwise chaotic emotional state. In this vulnerable condition, the brain rewires itself around the substance or behavior, making recovery much more difficult over time.